And I would like to call upon Dr. Parvez Hayat, who is the chairman of the organizing committee. He is a PhD on disaster management law graduate from Delhi University, over 30 years of experience with administration and law enforcement. And above all, for the last 1 week, we've been working very closely, shoulder to shoulder with him. Seen him as a human being par excellence. He may belong to the Muslim minority community, but he still feels that we are all one together, and now is this time that we minorities, as well as the general team, the business, the bureaucrat, all stand together to make India global power number one. He's a firm believer that under Prime Minister Modi's direction, that we can become the world superpower by 2030. And he has devoted the next 10 years of his life to make that happen. Please welcome Parvez Hayat, IPS, former DGP, and an author, a Google scholar, and the most ardent follower of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Please give it up for Shri Parvez Hayat Ji. He'll give his opening remarks. Mr. Parvez Hayat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prabhakar. Honorable former Union Minister K. Alphonse, Madam Lalita Kumar Mangalam, she is also the Director of India Foundations, Shri Vijayendra Kumar, who is the Chairman of Multiverse, and my junior colleague and friend, Mr. V.V. Sharma, who is the Member Secretary of Disaster Management, National Disaster Management Authority, and the distinguished other guest and speaker. It is a proud privilege to speak amongst the august gathering and eminent speakers who shall be delivering on the subject. As you are all aware, that Global Eye is a digital magazine which the Dr. Prabhakar is the editor-in-chief, and this magazine goes to 3.5 crore Indians and 1 crore in the US that delineate on the several issues, both socio-economic, political, as well as some thought process. And also it goes to the Indo-American society in the US. The very objective of organizing this conclave is to deliberate upon the Honorable PM, Prime Minister Modi ji's vision of development for all, or Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and Sabka Vishwas. That is a very significant addition, Sabka Vikas. And that's true as well. If you see the yesterday's budget, all his achievements in the last 6-7 years, in the face of the global economic slowdown, that is a fact, as if you have seen the IMF report, that there is a global, reasons could be many because the eminent speakers on the subject shall delineate in details what are the reasons, but there is a slide of 0.9% as IMF reported in the GDP. And this global slowdown is that consists of, for various reasons, including the social unrest in many parts of the world, including India. And when India is a huge country, it's not a country, it's a continent. So anything happens, anything happens in India, it affects more. So the world is concerned, both in the global slowdown and also the coronavirus in China, that is also a great concern because India will be largely affected. So their need was felt to invite eminent speakers on this subject in order to discuss, deliberate, and cull out the areas where there is a need to take corrective measures which will spur growth, which will, as well as the domestic demands, as well as the domestic consumptions. We shall be growing over some of the schemes in the key industry that can be fruitful in making India into a 5 trillion economy. As you know that the present economic scenario is 4% as reported by IMF. But again, if you have seen the budget yesterday, there has been a lot of effort, the investment spending in the infrastructure sector, in the technology, tech-related affordable housing, majorly, majorly it is helping the middle class and the lower middle class, and the affordable housing, which is looking after the welfare of the poor classes, that is the marginalized section of the society. The government has to ensure the substantive justice. It is possible when the fruits of democracy is equally divided between the different section of the society, including the marginalized section of the society. So the thrust has been given, the spending in the domestic sector, particularly in the infrastructure, technology, agriculture. There is a boost in agriculture, like a lot of investment, the budgeting, huge budgeting has been, it's very important because of to arrest the menace of the farmer suicide. The government has also taken care of that, the different landowner, including the marginalized farmer, to give a support to them. And also, as far as the strategic disinvestment in the past is concerned in the steel sector and the pharmaceutical sector, cement sector, etc., has resulted into the in the positive in the very positive manner, and this has been a profitability. Whereas in the yesterday's budget has infused huge investment in agriculture, technology, infrastructure. Tax holidays have been provided for a startup for 5 years. It's a very, very good move, which will lead to the growth, and it will increase the domestic, the GDP up to 6%. Affordable housing, massive drop in the personal income tax. It means the personal income tax means middle class, upper middle class, or lower middle class. They will be hugely, benefited out of this scheme. And also there are some other measures the budget talks about. On the other hand, is the rationalizing the food subsidies, wealth creation through liberalization of the economy, and sectors such as the construction, the real estate. The government of India is very concerned. The present government, the Modi ji, has announced how to take care of the ailing, the construction sector, the real estate, where the window has been opened through the SBI cabs, so that there are many projects they are halted because of the 60% work, 70% work, 75% works have been done. So the government of India is providing through a window called SBI cabs that is a subsidiary of State Bank of India. So the people are submitting the realtor submitting, because the real estate construction sector, as IMF Global Chief Economic Advisor said, that the construction sector is also very important, but it's providing huge job. It's not that 6,000 employees are working. The allied indirect employment is very huge. Other ideas to help middle class and lower middle class who need such support can be learned from this eminent speaker when they'll be speaking, and they will be talking about the innovating social scheme. So I'll talk about such innovatives. The last 5-6 years, the innovative social scheme initiated by Honorable Modi ji, by the present government. This is Namami Ganga program. You all aware, the National Mission for Clean Ganga, as a flagship program with an outlet of 20,000 crore, with a twin objective to take effective measure to reduce pollution as well as the conservation, rejuvenation of national river Ganga, which includes sewage treatment, river surface cleaning, afforestation on the river bank. That's very important so far as the sustainability is concerned. So the innovative overarching, this is a part of the innovating overarching Swachh Bharat initiative by Honorable PM Modi ji. Ministry of Drinking Water and the Sanitation has spent crores of rupees in constructing the innumerable number of toilets. Even the PSUs, both Navaratna and Maharatna, out of their CSR, huge budget, they have also contributed in a huge manner in the construction of the toilet. That is a very big thing. Go to the school, primary school, everywhere you find the toilets. There is a great achievement on our Prime Minister Modi ji. And also the likewise water conservation scheme called Jal Shakti Abhiyan. This is very important. Water is so important. You just see how important the water is, conservation. So that's to provide the clean pipe water to all houses in the next few years already. So this is a very, very important aspect, the clean water, It also promotes drip irrigation. When we talk about the drip irrigation, the water consumption is fairly low vis-a-vis the canal and tank and other forms of irrigation. So using the technology, while making the use of technology, artificial intelligence, in predicting rains and drought, there are two private, player like Skymet and Cropin. They are working in a huge work with all the state government, predicting the rain. Suppose, just to give an example, that if the farmer, sometimes the people in India, the farmers, they believe the date, that they're thinking that I will do it Friday. When they get information, the SMS alert that there is a rain after 3 days, definitely they will cut their farm produce on the same day and the next day. Otherwise, there was a time when there used to be, because of the heavy rain, there's to lose whatever they spend, the poor guy. And the measures like rainwater harvesting is very important. Efficient use of water, renovation of water bodies, regulating industrial consumption. In the field of agriculture, PM Kisan is another initiative by Honorable Modi ji, in which income support to the farmers worth 6,000 has been provided. Expanding the income support to the farmers, and PM Sichai scientific application to the attract investment in irrigation, expanding cultivable land. In health sector, Ayushman Bharat is the kind of a, what Obamacare was, on the lines of that. This is also called the National Health Protection Scheme, to support and provide up to 5 lakhs medical expenditure coverage. Mission Indradhanush. This is another very important achievement of our Honorable innovative scheme. They provide immunization of 6 vaccine preventable diseases. PM Swasth Suraksha Yojana, PMSSY. This is another very good scheme to make up for regional imbalances in the underserved and backward states. You have aims in, just see so many aims are coming up in the other, the B class and C class township. And the medical college, the backward states established aims like medical college and hospital. For the upliftment of women, Udan scheme, you are aware, the wings to the girls, to increase enrollment of girls in the medical college, IT and engineering college. For the senior citizen, PM Shram Yogi Mandan. That is another very innovative scheme by Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, which will give social security and pension for all workers, including the organized sector. Under the Education Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, it aspires to achieve universalization of elementary education for children between 6 to 14 years of age. For energy, an innovative scheme of nation, like in the power sector, we talk about the one nation. Now, presently, it is a one nation, one grid. India is the grid transmission is the second largest transmission after China, and the efficiency rate of our grid, we should be proud, is the second best in the world. The transmission. So. Thus to end, so one nation, one grid, because if there is a power has to be wheeled from, say, Kanyakumari to, from Madras to the northeast, it is one nation, one grid, and there is a very innovative new scheme has been started. That work has already, like Delhi is already through, all metros are covered. That is called islanding scheme, in which suppose there is a remotely, there was a great failure in 2012. In case there is any great failure, because in US also it happened, and whenever it happened in 2012, the islanding scheme means if there is any failure of the grid, so Delhi, whatever is the local production, metro will not be affected. It will be all the important like AIIMS, etc., PM House, and all the important institutions, they will have power, they will not suffer. So, a lending system I talked about. The smart cities also is one of the subject, and affordable housing, low-income housing for the laborers, and the labor colony solutions. The green housing, where we talk about the Griha rating. And then solar, we know that now this solar is going on, and the biofuel, and also there is a talk about climate parliament. India is a part of the climate, signed to be the part of the climate parliament. We talk about how there is some part of the world where there's a huge sun, and there is a part of world there is no sun. For 6 months there will be no sun. So how to go about to take the transmission line from those areas, from more sun to no sun area, so that there is no shortage of this scheme is going, that will take time. That is called climate parliament. So and also the electric vehicle we are talking about, all over the world there is a lot of work going on, and we should be proud that India's Ashok Leyland and the ABB. The ABB is a very first or second largest power company. There is a joint venture which is working in the Geneva, Switzerland, and the 12 buses are working for flash charging facilities. Ashok Leyland, which is our India's vehicle, and ABB buses. So the 12 buses are going on. They claim that only in 20 seconds when the passenger get down, and this vehicle can be charged. Thank you very much. And the distinguished guests, they are speakers. They'll be coming and they'll be delving into the deeper inside. And I'm very sure that this conclave will cull out certain corrective, suggestion, so as to achieve the target of 5 trillion economy of the Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. I am very hopeful that all the efforts and the studies, very positive budget, will take us to the marching ahead. Thank you very much.